shows the build-up to the big hunt.
We've been seeing a pretty good rush this last week.
Deer hunters get ready to celebrate their orange holiday. Then preparing for a night outdoors in the cold to raise awareness about a problem on the rise in the suburbs. But first, police seek your help to solve several school burglaries. 12 News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. A series of burglaries at Brooklyn Park schools have police seeking the public's help.
Burglars hit 4 schools over the last 11 days, stealing iPads, laptops, and other electronics. Delane Cleveland joins us now with more. Delane?
Alex and Shannon, investigators say that in the early morning hours, the burglars broke into Crestview, Palmer Lake, Birch Grove, and Sage Academy.
It's hard to prevent somebody who just wants to break into your building in the middle of the night. You can't have somebody watching every building all the time. So they've looked at their alarm systems, looked at their systems that they use to secure the building. They're making some minor changes, but they really have done a great job of trying to protect their properties.
Video surveillance footage provided by the Brooklyn Park Police Department shows the 2 burglars committing the crimes. The first instance happened October 25th, the second on Halloween, and 2 more break-ins occurred sometime overnight. Investigators believe that the same 2 people are responsible for all 4 burglaries.
Most time they try to jailbreak them or open the items up so that they're usable and can be used by other users, and then most time they sell them. Sometimes pawn shops, sometimes they ship them out of the country, so there's a variety of ways to be able to sell them and get money for them.
Police say that if you recognize the people in the videos or if someone tries to sell you an inexpensive electronic item, to please call 911. Shannon?
All right, thank you, Delane. A Hennepin County jury has convicted a Brooklyn Park woman in a large marijuana sales operation. Tracy Chung was found guilty this week of drug dealing at her Brooklyn Park home. She could face a more than 7-year prison sentence. Chung lived with 36-year-old Slum Prodfwang, who is also awaiting sentencing for the drug dealing operation. Their arrest came after a neighbor called police about suspicious cars coming and going. The tip led to the seizure of nearly 250 pounds of marijuana and thousands of dollars in cash. Halloween orange was the dominant color a few days ago, but now it's blaze orange.
And that's because the firearms deer season begins Saturday. Eric Nelson has more on its big impact on business.
The countdown and anticipation is almost over.
Everybody gets super excited, and it's like a kid at Christmas.
On Saturday, thousands of deer hunters will flock to farms, fields, and forests to carry on a Minnesota tradition.
Always getting up there with the guys and the family and, telling old stories and just being around everyone.
It's a tradition, It's the 2-week family that everybody has.
For some hunters, the deer opener is like a holiday.
Yeah, it is. It's a really like New Year's. It's exciting.
For some businesses, such as Bill's Gun Shop and Range in Robbinsdale,
we've been seeing a pretty good rush this last week.
Deer season means more money in the coffers.
Some new guns are being sold and a lot of used ones, and then optics this year. Optics is probably the big seller this year.
It's a big deal. There's a lot that goes into it. It's a challenge.
At Mills Fleet Farm in Brooklyn Park, the store is an ocean of orange.
Back in, I do believe it was 2009, we started Orange Friday.
Orange Friday has clearly caught on as hunters spend big bucks indoors so they can pursue big bucks outdoors.
Walk around, look at everything, and it's just, wow, it's really gotten big.
The DNR reports that deer hunters spend $400 million on equipment and gear alone, and there are plenty of brand names to choose from.
In between Toy Opener, Orange Friday, and Black Friday, the big 3, those are our big times where we get a lot of sales and get a lot of business into our stores.
Orange Friday has become so popular that at 6 o'clock this morning there were 400 people waiting outside Fleet Farm just to get in. In Brooklyn Park, I'm Eric Nelson, Channel 12 News.
Deer hunters also spend $90 million on magazines, licenses, and other hunting-related items, and $230 million on travel-related costs. And just in time for deer hunting season, the DNR is asking hunters to test out and provide feedback on a new interactive tool being developed by the DNR. The site works on mobile and desktop devices and provides hunters with information about harvest history, permit area designation, and what type of land is in the permit area.
40 years ago this month, the first wave of Hmong immigrants made their way to Minnesota following the war in Southeast Asia. And today, more than 15,000 Hmong live in Brooklyn Center and Brooklyn Park. Today, the ambassador of Laos made his way to Brooklyn Park. A reception and banquet is planned for this weekend. This is Ambassador Mai Stayavong's third visit to Minnesota, but his first while serving as ambassador. The ambassador urges youth of Laotian descent to preserve their culture even while living abroad.
In Laos, we have many ethnic groups, and every ethnic group, they preserve their own style of living. That kind of thing that help the young generation understand what their parents came from.
Local government officials and the community will host the ambassador tomorrow night in Brooklyn Park. The ambassador also spent some time in St. Paul during his visit. People don't often think of homelessness in the suburbs, but it is a growing problem in the northwest suburbs.
Reporter Sonia Goins shows us how a Plymouth organization is trying to raise money and awareness.
Actually, helping the poor and the needy is not something optional.
Friday prayer service at the Northwest Islamic Center in Plymouth.
You're not supposed to turn him out.
Included a lesson on poverty and humility.
You're not supposed to insult the one who asks him for money.
Today, members of the congregation will get a first-hand lesson on what it's like to live a life of poverty.
Help? Can you hold this? We're going to sleep all night. It's going to be a little cold.
About 15 people, young and old, will sleep outside overnight in tents. The event is part of Interfaith Outreach's annual Sleep Out fundraiser.
We want to teach our kids that it impacts the entire community, even though they might be well off.
Thanks, and that's perfect. We got to redo this.
Today, the group spent the day prepping for the big event. Participants know they can never really replicate what a homeless person goes through.
We're going to have hot cocoa and hopefully some breakfast in the morning, which the homeless people might not even get that. So we have the luxury to go out and buy food and keep ourselves warm.
Interfaith Outreach says poverty in the suburbs grew 3 times faster than Minneapolis and St. Paul over the past 10 years. They say homelessness can sometimes be hard to spot in the suburbs.
You're talking about people in their cars, people sleeping on their friends' couches, or the kids going over to someone's houses.
The group hopes sleepouts like the one here can spread awareness of the homeless plight in the suburbs.
First, we need to appreciate what we got. Second, we need to help those who are in need by contributing, helping them in whatever way we can.
In Plymouth, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Interfaith Outreach hopes to raise $2.2 million by the end of the year. For more information, you can go to our website, 12.tv. Coming up, your favorite Dr. Seuss characters come to life over at Champlin Park High School.
And then later in sports, get set for a big volleyball showdown between Champlin Park and Wayzata.
But first, fall-like weather, but plenty of sunshine this weekend. Sunday will be the warmer day of the two. We'll be right back. In keeping with our colorful autumn, Champlin Park High School is kicking off their theatrical season in very colorful fashion.
Neil Persley explains in today's Weekend Showcase.
All the things you can think when you think about.
I just do a musical when you can do a Seussical.
Incredibly colorful, actually. I don't think I've ever been in a place this colorful, actually. The lights come up on the stage, the set, the costumes, everything is very bright.
Alan Bates plays the Cat in the Hat, Seussically serving as the narrator. The story is essentially the Dr. Seuss tale of Horton Hears a Who. Alec Reuter plays Horton the Elephant, who hears the cries for help from the small who's living on a speck of dust.
Since he has big ears, he's the only person that can hear them.
I say, how confusing. I've never heard tell of a small speck of dust that was able to yell.
The story reveals the whole community of who's living on their speck of dust and plays out Horton's travails in trying to keep them safe.
Well, although he gets a lot of, rejection and stuff from his peers, he, still saves the tiny world.
Horton faces a lot of ridicule from the other characters who aren't able to hear the Who's. That is, everyone except for his next-door neighbor, Gertrude McFuzz, who admires Horton's compassion.
It's a really awkward bird girl who, during the entire show, just tries to get Horton the elephant to notice her.
When she finds the lost clover with the speck of dust containing all the Who's on it, Horton's eyes are open to Gertrude.
I've really enjoyed the story in general because it's so fun and lighthearted.
Seussical, the musical you really should see. It doesn't cost much. Why, it's practically free.
Seussical, I'd say, is the rediscovery of that belief you have as a kid, kind of, that you can think anything you want to. Your imagination is endless.
For Weekend Showcase, I'm Neil Persley, 12 News.
And Seussical the Musical runs now through Sunday and next Thursday through Saturday. Tickets are $10 for adults, $8 for students and seniors. They are on sale at the Champlin Park Theater 1 hour before each show. I haven't seen that one, but looks like fun.
It does look like a good show over there.
Very colorful for sure. Coming up, another way you can sample a bit of local music this weekend, this time at Cooper High School.
But first in sports, a prep football thriller as Osseo and Totino-Grace battle to the wire in the state football playoffs. Jay Wilcox has that and more when we come back. So that's the storyline right now.
Jay's here now with sports, and boy, one of the biggest games of the year. Everybody's talking about what happened last night.
Fantastic finish here, and it was almost deja vu from a couple of years ago when these teams played too. Sometimes highly anticipated high school playoff games don't live up to the hype. That was not the case for the Class 6A football semifinal contest between Osseo and Totino-Grace. The Eagles and Orioles meeting for the second time this season. Grace drives down the field on its first possession. Kyle Halverson hits tight end Alex Spevacek for 22 yards inside the Osseo 5. It sets up a TD, and it's 7-0 Eagles. Osseo responds immediately. Prince Krua leaps in for the touchdown. The defenses tighten up from there, and it's still 7-7 at halftime. Second half, and Gayflor Flomo takes the pitch, makes a nice cut, and goes in for the touchdown to make it 14-7 Totino-Grace. Watch the defensive play as Eagles lineman Sam Priscilla tips and catches the Osseo screen pass for a big interception. And that sets up a touchdown run for Halverson as he splits the defense to score. It's 21-7 Eagles after 3 quarters. Early in the fourth, on 4th and 8, Osseo on a fake punt, and Malik Gaylord hits Demario Armstrong for a crucial first down. Later in the drive, Armstrong on the sweep left, and he goes 21 yards to the 5. It sets up a Krua touchdown, and it's 21-14. Another huge play for Osseo, literally here. 6'4", 315-pound tight end Nash Jensen catches it over the middle and rumbles 38 yards to set up a TD sneak to pull Osseo within 21-20. Shades of the 2013 state quarterfinals. Osseo goes for 2, and Krua just gets in on the sweep. Osseo forces a late fumble. They win a classic 22-21.
And one thing we did was play with heart. Coach always told us to play with heart, and that's what you saw today. It's all about the heart.
That wasn't the only big sporting event for a Totino-Grace team Thursday night. Grace meeting Roseville in the Section 4 3A volleyball final. Set 1, Brooke Sherman with the kill between the blockers for Totino-Grace point. Roseville attacks, but Abby Holscher gets the block for Grace in a tight opening set. The Raiders, though, go on a run as Sarah Haynes' kill gives Roseville a 25-21 win. Good defense by the Raiders in set 2 as Olivia Garbe gets the block for a point in a 17-12 lead. Grace gets it down here, though, on the kill by Sherman, but Roseville wins set 2 25-20 on a kill by Haynes. Grace comes back strong in set 3. Olivia Cruiser gets the kill. And then Eliza Dolly will split the defenders with a nice shot for a 17-14 Eagles lead. On set point, Sherman will hammer it down. Grace wins 25-20. Roseville, though, builds a lead in the 4th set. Garbe's kill makes it 16-8. And on match point, Garbe's hit gets down. Roseville wins 3 sets to 1, and they go to the state tournament. 2 local teams will square off for the Section 5 3A volleyball title Saturday afternoon as number 1 seed Wayzata takes on number 2 seed Champlin Park. The Rebels advance to the championship with a sweep of Maple Grove in the semifinals Wednesday. Champlin Park won the section a year ago when Wayzata was still in Section 6. Meanwhile, Wayzata started slow but came back to beat Osseo 3-1 in the semifinals. They own 2 wins over Champlin Park this season, both in tournaments. The teams expected this matchup again, and they look forward to it.
We know what we got to focus on, and we just got to play our game. And we got to play our game and not worry what's on the other side of the court.
I think it should be tough. I know that we've played them twice before, and it was a great game. But as long as we keep playing the way we played in the last 2 sets and keep moving forward, I think we have a great shot.
Champlin Park and Wayzata meet at 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon at Anoka High School. Watch the match Monday at 10 p.m. and Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Channel 12 and 12.tv. Well, believe it or not, the girls' hockey season is underway. A handful of local teams hit the ice for their first games of the season Thursday night, including Hopkins. They open the season at home against Red Wing. Second period, the wingers Taylor Heisey carries the puck into the Hopkins zone and centers to Maddie Hardiman for the shot and goal. Red Wing leads it 2-0. Hopkins gets on the board right at the end of a power play chance. Kate Glover shoots. Olivia Mobley scores on the rebound, and it's a 2-1 game. Just seconds later, Hopkins strikes again, and it's Mobley once again scoring on her own rebound this time. Kylie Hanley with the assist, and it's a 2-2 game. This one features a wild second period. Red Wings' Gabby McGill scores off the feed from Marty, and the game is tied 3-3. 6 goals are scored in the third, and it's Mobley netting the hat trick for Hopkins to put the Royals ahead for good. Hopkins adds an empty netter. They beat Red Wing 5-3. So fall sports still going on, winter starting up.
All right, thanks a lot, Jay.
You're welcome.
Up next, how the Cooper Marching Band plans to light up the night.
We'll be right back. The Cooper High School Marching Band plans to light up the night Saturday night.
It's the 4th year the band has offered an indoor concert to raise money for new equipment. The band put the finishing touches on the concert this week during rehearsals in the Cooper High School Auditorium, which is where the concert will be held on Saturday. The music will feature some hits from the musical Grease as well as other bright musical selections. This is the only fundraiser for the band, so they count on this money to fund much needed improvements.
We're trying to get field equipment. That's a small amount of money. The color guard equipment for next year, the transportation for next year, and the drum equipment. So we're looking at about $6,000.
The fundraiser is this Saturday, November 7th, and it starts at 7 p.m. The doors open at 6:15 with a silent auction. Tickets are $15 at the door. Besides the band, the University of Minnesota Drumline will be there to perform too. And Alex, they were there last year, and I hear it was quite a hit.
Absolutely.
So they invited them back.
Good thing to head out to on Saturday.
Yes, I think it'll be fun. That's all the time we have for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
And we're going to leave you more music from Cooper High School Marching Band. Have a great weekend.